What if I told you the most powerful tool in trading isn't some indicator or algorithm, but something as simple, yet difficult, as patience? In a world addicted to speed, patience is a trader's secret weapon. Most people can't wait. They feel they must always be doing something, clicking buttons, entering trades, chasing the next opportunity. But the truth is, in trading, the ability to wait, to do nothing when nothing is right, is often what separates the winners from the losers. Patience is the quiet force that amplifies all your other skills. It's not flashy, it doesn't give you adrenaline rushes, but it yields results that impulsiveness never will. Consider two traders at their screens on a Monday morning. The first trader, let's call him Raj, is eager to start the week with a bang. The moment the market opens, he's hunting for any hint of a setup. He jumps into a trade within minutes on a gut feeling, not wanting to miss out. When that trade shows a small profit, he quickly closes it to lock it in, then immediately feels he should be in another trade. By noon, Raj has entered and exited multiple positions, overtrading every minor blip in price. He's exhausted and his account is roughly where it started, maybe a bit worse after commissions and a couple of losses he took in haste. Meanwhile, the second trader, Anna, has hardly clicked a thing. She spent the morning watching and waiting. Her plan told her that only trades meeting certain high probability criteria are worth taking, and none have appeared yet today. It's not easy for her to sit idle. She too feels that itch to trade, but she resists it. She knows that a mediocre trade taken out of impatience can be far more damaging than no trade at all. Shortly after midday, a pattern she's been waiting for finally starts to form. It's a textbook setup according to her strategy. Anna enters calmly, sets her stop and target, and lets it play out. By the afternoon, that one trade hits her target and ends the day in profit. Raj, on the other hand, ends the day frustrated, mentally drained and kicking himself. In his frenzy to trade all morning, he not only accumulated unnecessary losses, but also missed the one big move of the day that Anna patiently waited for. Anna, by contrast, shuts down her terminal with a sense of calm accomplishment. One good trade was all she needed. This story may be simplified, but its lesson is very real. In trading, often, the less you do, the more you gain. Why is patience such a superpower in trading? Because markets do not move in a constant stream of opportunities. High-quality setups are relatively few and far between. There is a lot of noise, random price flailing, tempting mirages of movement. Between those genuine signals, an impatient trader gets entangled in that noise. They take subpar trades out of boredom or FOMO, fear of missing out. They turn minor market wiggles into big issues for their account. A patient trader, by contrast, sits like a predator waiting in the bushes, alert, ready, but not pouncing until the prey is truly in sight. It's the difference between a scattergun approach and a sniper's precision. The sniper waits for the perfect shot and conserves ammo. The scattergun blasts away at anything that moves and usually misses or wastes resources. If you're serious about mastering these principles, my new book, Mind Before Profit, goes deeper into every lesson we cover here. You'll learn how to rewire your psychology, compound discipline, and build consistency from the ground up. Patience isn't just about individual trades, it's also about your growth as a trader. Many beginners expect to become consistently profitable in a matter of weeks or months. It's like someone expecting to become a black belt in martial arts after a few classes, or a new musician expecting to headline a concert after a month of practice. We would find those expectations ridiculous. Yet, in trading, people often assume a few months of effort should yield life-changing money. When that doesn't happen, they get discouraged or reckless. But learning to trade is like building any serious skill or business. It takes time. Those who understand this treat their first year or two as an apprenticeship, not a get-rich-quick sprint. This long-term patience keeps them from making desperate moves when they hit a rough patch. They know that success is not a straight line upward. It's a slow compounding of knowledge, experience, and equity. By contrast, the impatient trader is always looking for shortcuts. The one strategy that will instantly make money, the one big trade that will double the account overnight. In chasing the quick win, they skip the foundational work, and as a result, they stumble again and again, ironically by trying to rush, they actually delay their own success. There's a famous concept often shared in trading circles: sitting on your hands. which literally means doing nothing, is an active trading strategy when no clear opportunity is present. Top traders often say that what you don't trade is just as important as what you do trade. By avoiding marginal setups, you preserve capital and mental energy for the times when it truly counts. Think about it. If you take 5 low-quality trades out of impatience, you not only risk losing money on those, but you might also be tying up capital or mental bandwidth when a prime opportunity comes along. Patience prevents this self-sabotage of your own potential. It's like a chess grandmaster who might spend many moves quietly positioning pieces, waiting patiently for the exact right moment to strike. Lesser players might try to force an attack too soon and end up in a weak position. In trading, every impulsive move you make when the market hasn't given a green light can weaken your position, but every moment of patience strengthens your eventual strike. Now, patience should not be mistaken for passivity or laziness. It's not that you sit there with Zen emptiness caring about nothing. Real trading patience is an active, attentive state. It's being fully engaged with the market, observing, analyzing, but reserving action for when it truly matters. I like to call it ruthless patience. Ruthless because you fiercely cut off the impulse to act on anything less than your criteria. You hold yourself to a high standard. Only A-plus setups, only trades that align with your proven edge. This kind of patience is tough. It can feel almost painful to watch the market move and not act, especially if you see others bragging about quick wins on social media. But consider this, those quick wins are often like candy, a short sugar rush followed by a crash. The patient trader is eating their vegetables and protein, building strength steadily. It might not look exciting, but it's far more nourishing to their trading account over time. One of the big challenges to patience is the modern environment we live in. We're conditioned for instant gratification. We can get a dopamine hit from a like on a post or a quick click and buy online. So, when we step into trading, that conditioning carries over. We crave the excitement of being in a trade, the immediate feedback of a win or loss. Waiting feels like agony because we're addicted to speed and action. But if you look at the traders who last and prosper, they've trained themselves to delay that gratification. They find satisfaction not in constant action, but in correct action. They take pride in saying, "I did nothing today because nothing met my criteria." It takes discipline to do that, but that discipline is what yields consistency. There's also an emotional aspect to patience, stress management. An impatient trader lives on an emotional roller coaster, constantly in trades, constantly anxious or elated by each small move. It's draining. A patient trader, on the other hand, experiences fewer emotional whipsaws. By trading less often, and only when it truly makes sense, their emotional state remains calmer and more balanced. They're not forcing the market to give them a feeling of excitement or validation every minute. They're okay with sitting quietly. This emotional stability means that when a real opportunity appears, they can approach it from a place of clarity instead of desperation or frenzy. Let's talk about another type of patience. The patience to let winning trades run and to let your edge play out over time. Many traders sabotage great trades because they lack the patience to see them through. They grab a small profit at the first uptick out of fear the market might snatch it away, only to watch from the sidelines as the trade goes on to hit what would have been a large target. Or they close a trade after 10 minutes that could have been profitable if only they'd given it 2 hours to move. Profitable trading often means sitting on a winning trade and doing nothing, which can be surprisingly hard. It's emotionally counterintuitive. You feel you should bank the win quickly, but if your plan says the trade's full potential is further away, patience is what makes the difference. Think of legendary investor Warren Buffett, who often says money is made by waiting, not by frantic activity. While Buffett's style is long-term investing, the principle holds even for short-term traders. Sometimes the best trade is no trade at all. A famous early 20th century trader once said, in effect, that the big money is not in the buying or selling, but in the waiting. In other words, having a correct market idea is one thing, but having the patience to sit on that idea is what yields the large reward. Patience in trading pays off. Patience also applies to recovering from losses. After a losing trade or a losing streak, many traders feel an urgent need to make the money back now. This is a dangerous moment. The impatient urge to get it all back now leads to revenge trading, taking rash trades with too much risk. Picture a trader who loses $200 in the morning. The impatient urge is to double their position size on the next trade, thinking, I'll earn it back in one go. But that next trade, taken out of frustration and without patience, could easily double the loss to $400. Now it's even harder to stay rational. The patient trader in that scenario would take a step back. Maybe they reduce their size or even stop trading for the day to regroup. They live to trade another day, while the impatient trader digs a deeper hole, trying to claw back losses immediately. By being patient and sticking to their plan, they avoid turning a single loss into a catastrophic series of losses. In contrast, the trader who can't be patient after a loss often ends up in a much deeper hole. So how can you cultivate patience if you know it's not your strong suit? Start by adjusting your mindset about what trading is. Trading isn't about constant action. It's about waiting for high-quality opportunities and capitalizing on them. Remind yourself that you are in control of when you trade. The market doesn't dictate that, you do. If you know that certain times of day tend to tempt you into bad trades, say mid-afternoon doldrums or slow Friday mornings, plan a break during those times. Step away from the screen, stretch, take a short walk. Sometimes, the simple act of disconnecting for a bit can dissipate the restless energy that leads to overtrading. The market will still be there when you come back, and you won't have missed anything except trades you shouldn't have taken anyway. Make a rule for yourself. If you don't see a setup that truly meets your strategy, you simply won't trade today. And that's a successful day for you. At first, following that rule might be as hard as taking a loss because you're fighting your impulses. But each time you successfully wait when you should, you are strengthening your patience muscle. It will get easier. Another practical tip: plan your trades ahead of time whenever possible. When the market is closed or quiet, identify the scenarios where you will take a trade. This way, when things heat up, you already know what you're looking for and you can ignore the rest. It's like going into a grocery store with a list. You're less likely to impulse buy junk food if you have a clear plan of what you need. In trading, if you have a clear plan of what constitutes a good trade for you today, you can better resist jumping into a bad one out of impatience. Keep a trading journal and note not just your trades, but your state of mind. Did you enter a trade because it truly met your criteria, or because you were bored and wanted action? Being brutally honest with yourself in your journal will highlight how often impatience might be sneaking into your decisions. As you review, you'll start catching yourself in the act next time. You'll recognize, I'm about to trade out of impatience, and then you can pause, take a breath, and step back. One more aspect of patience. Patience with yourself. You are going to slip up. You will have days you act impulsively. We're human, and breaking the habit of impatience is not easy. When that happens, don't spiral into self-criticism too harshly. That can sometimes trigger more impulsive behavior. Instead, acknowledge it. I got impatient today and jumped into trades I shouldn't have. Then calmly recommit to being patient tomorrow. Inner patience, giving yourself time to grow, is crucial. This journey is not a straight line, and expecting yourself to be a disciplined machine from day one is unrealistic. Patience with your own progress will keep you in the game long enough to actually develop the skills we're talking about. Over time, you'll find that patience fundamentally changes your relationship with trading. It turns it from a frantic gamble into a measured process. You might even find it changes your relationship with life outside trading. You become more comfortable waiting for good things rather than chasing instant gratification. Traders who master patience often describe a sense of peace in their trading routine. Some even say that when trading becomes a bit boring, it's a good sign. It means they're sticking to their rules and not getting caught up in unnecessary excitement. That boredom is the feeling of consistency. If you're constantly on an emotional high or low, you're likely deviating from your plan. Patience leads to a more even-keeled, almost dull day-to-day experience, but that stability is exactly what generates profits in the long run. They're not as fazed by missing one move because they know another will come. They don't feel the need to avenge a loss immediately because they trust their edge will work over a series of trades. They approach the market like a seasoned sailor approaches the sea, understanding that you can't control the waves, but you can time your journey and set your sails when the conditions are favorable. In the end, patience is powerful because it puts time on your side. When you're patient, you allow positive probabilities to work for you, and you sidestep many of the traps that blow up traders, traps like overtrading, chasing, and panicking. Remember, the goal is consistent profitability, not immediate thrills. Patience aligns you with that goal. It might not give you a dopamine hit every hour, but it paves the way for something better, a steady equity curve and a sustainable trading career. In trading, time can be your ally or your enemy, depending on your mindset. With patience, time becomes your ally. Trades have time to work, your skill has time to compound, and your wealth has time to grow. That is why patience is not just a virtue in trading. It's truly a superpower. If this resonated with you, remember to like, subscribe, and click the bell so you never miss a new episode from Mind Before Profit, where traders turn psychology into profit.